So the Jimmy Kimmel Saga continues unfolding after his, he got booted. Democrats and their media allies scrambled to defend him, even as his own record shows years of hateful rhetoric and complete double standards, because that's the only thing liberals are consistent on is their double standards. So we have a tweet from Hillary Clinton, and she calls out Trump for Kimmel getting canceled. But don't worry, because the one thing about the internet is we have receipts for all these people. So we have her flip-flopping on this, as they do. We also had Kamala Harris flip-flopping on it. We had Ilhan Omar flip-flopping on free speech. Remember, he commented on Roseanne Barr. I mean, I went through on my Instagram a whole list. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of people that were banned, including the sitting president, which is insane. And then it's funny because Democrats posted a thing about like free speech. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And I'm like, conservatives literally warned you guys. I was like, when you guys weaponize free speech about us, like, against us, I was like, I kind of was shocked that no liberals were standing up and being like, hey, do you ever think like maybe like this isn't good and like potentially whoever's in charge next would weaponize it, against us, even though we're not doing that. There's such a large difference between, and even they interviewed Trump and Trump was like, I don't care. Like his show sucks. It's also funny. I'm like, where's the energy from the left of eat the rich? This guy's worth like $50 million. And you guys feel bad for him? Well, you guys felt worse for him than the guy that got shot. Like, that's the craziest part about all this. And of course, he's flip-flop on everything. We have videos of him saying horrible things, like he celebrated Tucker's cancellation and people being refused hospital beds for like not getting the vaccine.
Fox News has severed bow ties with Tucker Carlson. After all these years, they are parting ways, which means he was fired. I mean, that's really what parting ways means. Tucker couldn't be reached for comment. He's already on a plane to Moscow to meet with his manager. But what a shock. I mean, what an absolutely delightful shock this is. Now Tucker can spend more time at home tanning his testicles and touching himself to that sexy green M&M. Sadly, he's probably not done poisoning old people's brains. The question now is, where will he do it next? Will he go to OAN? Will he go to Newsmax? Will he crawl back up Satan's fiery beehole from whence he came? We don't know. One of the most despicable mother Tuckers ever to appear on American television.
I mean, that's crazy to play the victim after that.
Hospitals get any more overcrowded, they're going to have to make some very tough choices about who gets an ICU bed. That choice doesn't seem so tough to me. Vaccinated person having a heart attack? Yes, come right on in. We'll take care of you. Unvaccinated guy who gobbled horse goo? Rest in peace, Wheezy.
So these people have been openly bragging for years that we deserve to die. So a couple things about that. When he's talking about horse pace, he's obviously talking about ivermectin. Because, his sponsors and Pfizer and all that had called him to promote the vaccine because he is a shill for Big Pharma as well as just a horrible human being. It's so funny to see these people's energy when it happens to someone else and then when it happens to him. It's like they just completely forget the past. But so he was talking about ivermectin, which I took, which saved me from bad COVID because I am not vaccinated. I never got any of the COVID vaccines or the booster. It's so funny too, like the whole ivermectin thing, which is like now it comes out. I still use it. If we ever get COVID, I give it to my dad. I had severe COVID. He never got it because I gave it to him. Ivermectin is like, first of all, I'm like, you're such a idiot. You don't even know that there's two. Like, do you guys not have teams that do this research for how much money you got? Well, I guess you're losing. That's why you got canned. But I'm like, there's two different kinds of ivermectin. There's literally one for horses and one for humans. I'm like, so when you lie to your audience about things you don't know shit about, you don't know about the vaccine you're promoting. You don't know about the product that had like some sort of prize for being one of the most perfect medications to ever exist with virtually zero side effects, which is used to like literally, now they're using it to treat cancer. But yeah, these people have like been telling us who they are for years, so I'm not sure why people are surprised. He literally said, if you're unvaccinated, you deserve to die. And then we're supposed to feel bad for him? No one cared when Gina Carano was fired for speaking out against the COVID mandates. And it's not just her. There's thousands and thousands of other people that were treated the exact same way. I also want to point out, when they talk about misinformation, I'm like, InfoWars made an incredible video where they took Fauci and every single person on, all the bullshit stations, CNN, all this, and they said how the COVID vaccine is 100% effective, and if you get the vaccine, you will not get COVID. It went from 100%, and I'm like, you cannot say you know something like that. First of all, that's not how vaccines work. That's also not how science works as well. Okay. You also can't be saying this is 100% effective when it's not even tested. It's not even like we got the test and now 50 years later we can see the results. So they went from 100% to 90% to being like, hey, actually, we're pulling it off the market. And I'm like, where were those people? When were they ever held responsible? The outlets that lied about things that affected people's health and also led to people dying. I'm like, it's interesting how there's no repercussions for any of these people that knowingly lied. Fauci's not in jail. These networks were not taken off. They were not fined. I think when it comes to medical things, lying about that, it's one thing to lie about opinions. When it comes to lying about medical, you should be fined. I mean, Fauci should be in prison. How he's not, I have no idea. He came out of nowhere, decided the fate of our country and our lives, and then all of a sudden just disappeared. And I'm sure he got paid very well. And then we have a tweet from Piers Morgan, sums up everything pretty well. Jimmy Kimmel lied about Charlie Kirk's assassin being MAGA. This caused Yeah, so what he's saying is, it's so crazy because there's so many people don't realize how networks and TV and all this. It's like, it's not because he made a joke and was being horrible about Charlie. It's the fact that we already had the information about the assassin and he purposely lied. What he should have done was shut up. Honestly, I think he would still have the show if he just shut up, but he couldn't. These people have been so sick with so much money and power and getting away with whatever they want for so long. They're just not used to having consequences, whereas people on the right have had the most severe consequences for how long? And also, Dave Portnoy had a very good tweet, which I was shocked because I don't think he's the most brilliant, but he was just saying, when you think of cancel culture, I think of the way the left has done cancel culture for years. Whereas some girls on Love Island and they find a tweet, they dig up, tweets from her and she's 12 years old and she sang a song with the N-word. That's what cancel culture is. Okay. It's a leftist thing. It's different when you go on and you lie about someone's death, promote it to your audience while also inciting more violence and more lies, which is how people on the right and left as well, end up literally dead. Is because of this rhetoric and these lies. And you went out of your way to lie. That's what's crazy. You could have just said nothing. You could have just been like, I don't like him, but I'm sorry, and I hope his family's okay. That would have been what a normal person would do. But no, you made jokes about it and you went out of your way to lie. And guess what? There's consequences for that, and the company has to deal with those consequences. So yeah, this is just normal. This is a normal thing to happen. But of course, everyone's like, oh, there goes free speech. And I'm like, well, free speech isn't exactly free. It comes at a price.